Thank you. Thank you for the two people in the front. Well, we're going to get started before we get started. I know it's early. You know, we had on time yesterday, now we're early. But we have something very special this morning before we get into the Townie talks. You know, it's more coincidence than anything that we're at the Planet Hollywood, but we're about to see, for the first time ever at a Townie meeting, an introduction of a new product. You'll be the first on the planet to see this new product. So I'm very, very excited about it. The new product is coming from Isolite, a company that has been part of Dentaltown's fabric literally since we started. So we're very, very honored to have the gentleman from Isolite here. I'm going to first introduce Mr. Rolando Mia, the VP of Sales and Marketing from Isolite.
Good morning, everybody. Wow. Can you hear me? So, I'm going to start because I don't get a chance to do this often, and this is the very first time I've ever been on stage with a little rap, and I'm going to infect everybody's head. Are you ready? I'm going to pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. Come on, guys. I'm hunting, looking for a comer. This is freaking awesome. I censored it. All right, enough of that. So thank you, Tom. Really appreciate this. On behalf of Isolite Systems and the Hirsch's, we'd like to do something very special for you today. You know, we were trying to figure out what to do with this new product we have, and we figured, why not here? When you look at Isolite Systems, we've been around for almost as much or as long as you have. And when you look at it, part of the reason we're here is because of the advocacy, the support, and the candor that the Townies have had for us. So we'd like to take a short 2 minutes to thank you. Thank you. We are so grateful for everything that you've done. It's because of the Townies that Isolite Systems is on the map. So we wanted to figure out a way to thank you for that, and we're going to do it this way. What happened, about the same time that the Townies got together, Dr. Tom and his brother, Jim, were sitting over dinner, and anytime you get a doctor, a dentist, and a designer together, something comes up. Guess what came up? This came up. Out of that discussion was born the Isolite system. And the idea behind it was pretty novel at the time because nothing like it existed. How many of you have seen that? How many of you have used that? Right? Well, what happened was over time, over 2 or 3 years, they figured, let's start a company so that we can give this to all of the other dentists in their practices out there. And guess what? Nothing happened until they ran into you. In 2004, Isolite got kind of plugged into the Townies and the Townie group. And from that point forward, it's history. We are a big part of what we are today because of you, and we're grateful for that. Over the past 8 years, the Townies have voted Isolite Systems as a Townie Choice Award. It's pretty thrilling when you think about the fact that, holy cow, every year you vote us and give us a Townie Award. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. You also identified us as one of the 50 greatest game changers in dentistry. Again, thank you very much. When you look at it, because of that, it has enabled us to establish Isolite in the space. Isolite is now, think of it as a minimally invasive, much easier to use alternative to traditional forms of isolation. But what makes it so unique, and what you've helped us do, is you've helped us establish it as the system to give you and your practices total control of the oral environment. And because of that, you can do better dentistry, and we're thankful for that. So, the way we're going to do that is we're going to introduce to you something we have not introduced anywhere on Earth, on the planet. And the person who's going to do that is the inventor, one of the principals, and owner of Isolite Systems. I'd like to introduce Dr. Tom Hirsch.
Yeah, and I'm going to run up the stairs and I'm going to fall flat on my face. That's what I was thinking about. So I'm Tom Hirsch, dentist, founder of the Isolite Systems. Steve and Sally were going for a job interview. It was the same job, and they had to take a test, and it was 100 questions. So at the end of the 100 questions, the examiner comes, sits them both back down, says to Steve and Sally, you know what? You both did a great job on the test, but we're hiring Sally. And Steve says, you're hiring Sally? How many questions did Sally get right on this exam? The examiner said, Sally got 99 questions right. She missed one. Well, how many questions did I get right? Well, ironically, you got 99 questions right also. You missed one. Well, then why can you hire her? We both got the same number of questions right. The examiner said, well, it's not the questions that you got right that we based it on. It was the ones you got wrong. Okay, Steve says, so which one did Sally get wrong? Well, Sally got all the way down to question number 97. She got question number 97 wrong. Well, what was her question? What was her answer for question number 97? And the examiner put down, for question number 97, she wrote, I don't know. Okay, how about me? What question did I miss? Well, on question number 97, you missed that one also. And what was your answer? Steve, you wrote down, neither do I. So anyway, that's how we start this thing. Isolite Systems. What we did when we came out with the Isolite is we wanted to make this protocol for isolation, protocol for controlling the oral environment. And we did that by looking at our suite of mouthpieces that we came up with. We came up with 5 different sizes that anatomically fit the mouth, all the way from a small child through the small size, the medium DV size, all the way up to the large size. And it's this family of mouthpieces that really gave us control of the oral environment. When we first started out, we were first developing these mouthpieces, my mouthpiece came in 3 parts. It had a bite block, it had a light pipe that went down the center of this whole thing, it had a boot for the tongue retractor that went over this whole thing. And as I was making the changes in my different prototypes, we probably went through 20, 25 different variations of this whole thing. And every time I made a change, we had to change 3 pieces, and it cost me about $1,500 a piece to change these things. So we're running out of money. And at the very end of this whole thing, we got down to the end game. And I told my brother Jim, I said, Jim, one more change is all we need. He didn't have any money to make this thing, so what he did on his computer is he hit merge. And just by accident, he merged all 3, on purpose for him, he merged all 3 of these things into one piece. And he said, I'll show you. Here you go, buddy. And he sent that to me, and I took it out of the package, I put it in my mouth, and I said, that was it. And so by accident, it's how we came up with this mouthpiece that just has one component. We've really tried to answer what you need as dentists, as hygienists, as operators, and clinicians. We came out with the Isolite, which combined illumination, aspiration, and retraction. But throughout all these Townie meetings that we went to, the Townies kept saying, you know what, I got all the light that I need. I don't need to pay money for an extra light inside the mouth. It's everything that I need. So we came out with the Iso Dry. The Iso Dry really seemed to serve that need at a much lower price point. And this is what the system looked like, whether it was the Isolite, well, the Isolite system, of course, had the power head, the control head, the power hose, plugged into the bottom of your vacuum canister so that you could sit this right at your chair, pick it up, and be ready to go at a moment's notice. The Iso Dry was just like that, minus the power hose. And of course, the mouthpiece, as I said, is all one piece and one component. We've got the different parts, so it's all incorporated. All you have to do is pick up the Isolite mouthpiece, stick it on the end of the Isolite, and you're ready to go. So, what's this big secret that we're talking about? As Rolando said, we're announcing it first time here. It's going to be a great offer to all the Townie meetings, something that you'll just really love. Even the Iso Dry, people were saying, you know what? In this economy, I just can't afford to put an Iso Dry, even an Iso Dry, in every operatory. So we wanted to come up with something that really allowed you to take advantage of the family of Isolite mouthpieces and still do it at a much lower price point. So here we have it, the first time that anybody has ever seen it in a group like this. We call it Isolite's Iso X. And what we have here on the Iso X, you can see the shape is exactly like the Iso Lite or the Iso Dry. It has that same footprint. Right down here we have the dual levers, so we have dual vacuum channels that go up into this whole thing. And what makes Iso X so different is that it fits right on the end of your vacuum hose. You can just take off your HVE if you need to, clamp it onto the end of the vacuum hose, or ideally speaking, you'll have multiple vacuum systems in your operatory so that you can go ahead and have one right there ready to pick up, and then you can have your HVE right next to it. This unique clamshell device made it really easy to clean because everybody's saying, oh, it's kind of hard to clean the Isolite. Well, with this clamshell, you just open it up. You've got dual vacuum channels right here with the dual levers right here to close the hole to control your vacuum. Taking it apart, that's just how easy it is. This thing can be assembled and disassembled in about 30 seconds for sterility. It's fully autoclavable. It goes in the autoclave, so what we'll have is a number of different Isolites so that you can go ahead and between patients, you're definitely going to want to autoclave this thing because the end right here definitely goes in the patient's mouth. So this is our exclusive preview of our ISO-X. But you know what? We need your help. And my wife actually needed my help this morning. I'm not going to give it to you yet. Oh, I will. I'll get there. My wife actually needed my help this morning. I got up really early, and she wanted me to make the coffee. I said, honey, will you make the coffee? And me being a traditional kind of guy, I said, no, honey, it's your job to make the coffee. So we kind of got into it. My wife's a smart cookie. She said, honey, it says in the Bible that he makes the coffee. And I said, it does not. I've read the Bible. He makes the coffee. It says so right in the Bible. Okay, show me. So she said, before I show you, if I show you where it says he makes the coffee, will you make the coffee for the rest of our lives? Never complaining? I said, you bet. We shook hands on it just this morning. We shook hands. So anyway, we shook hands. She went, she got the Bible, and she opened it up. She said, okay, read that right there. Read what right where? Right there. What's the first word you see on that page? Hebrews. 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 So guess who's making the coffee? And with that, I'm going to show you, and I want you to come by and see this, our new, never seen before by anybody else, right there in our nice little pretty case. This is our new ISO-X. And this is what we want you to stop by the booth and see is our new ISO-X. And that being said, I'm going to leave this right here and turn this over to Rolando because we do, in fact, need your help. Thank you. Rolando.
Dr. Tom Hirsch. So, we do need your help because if you notice, Dr. Tom called it the ISO-X. As you know, anytime you introduce a product into the marketplace, you need to get a really cool and catchy name, right? So we're like, hey, it plugs into the HVAC. Let's call it the ISO-Sucks. That didn't work. Then we thought, ISO-Sexy? That didn't work. So here's the deal. We need your help. We would like you to come by our booth. And what we'd like to do is ask you to help us name our new product. We want to give you the honor of naming our product because we figure you're going to come up with better names than ISO-Sucks. Come over, we've got a little form, put your name on there, and give us your thoughts. Please do as many as you can. What we're going to do is we're going to pick a name out of that, and that's what we're going to introduce for the ISO-X. The other thing, too, is this. We figured, how else can we thank you? When I sat down with Tom, with Jim, with Sandy, we were talking about it, and they said, let's just give every one of the Townies a free ISO-X. And we're like, yeah, why not? They put us on the map, they're there. As we were doing that, we realized, there's this sunshine thing that we have to deal with, right? Anytime we give anything free, we have to get your NPI, we have to report it now, we have to put your name on there, you then have to report, and we're like, okay, that's kind of a PIDA, not gonna happen. But when we were reading the details, we discovered, check this out. If we attach our new ISO-X to an existing purchase, we can discount it as much as we want. So here's where we need a little more of your help. How much should we discount this product? We haven't set a retail price for this product, but it will be a lot more aggressive than our Isolite and Iso Dry. So we were thinking, when you think about it, we've been around for 11 years, almost the same amount of time you have, right? So we thought, $11. What is that? How does that sound to you guys? Yeah, kinda? Well then, we thought, wait a minute. The Townies have given us the Townie Award for 8 years straight. What about $8? So now, all you have to do is when you purchase, you can add on an ISO X for $8. No? Wow, kind of. Well, then we thought, wait a minute, because of you all, you've made Isolite #1 in the marketplace. So we said, hey, check this out. Let's charge them $1. So, by show of noise, we're going to let you pick what we charge you, and only here at the Townie meeting 213 in Las Vegas for up to six of the new ISO X products that you are going to help us name. So, at this Townie meeting only, by show of noise, you have to tell us what to charge. 11 years, $11? Wow. 8 Townie Awards. $8? You know, I have a funny feeling. Ready? Ready? #1, $1? Wait, I can't hear you. So, please come by our booth. You can add on the new ISO X, up to 6 of them. You're going to need 3 per operatory, 1 for use, 1 in the autoclave, and 1 as a backup. The thing that's so unique about this is it takes advantage of those mouthpieces. So most of you all are already using the Isolite system in your practices. Now you can outfit every operatory, and we've heard from hygiene that they would love to take advantage of the Isolite system. So here's your opportunity to do that. $1, those of you who ordered anything yesterday, please come by. We can add it on up to 6. So up to $6. And now here's the one piece. We are introducing this officially September. We're in testing. We have CE mark, we have ISO certification, we have it all, and we want to give it to you first. You will be the first on the block, and you will get shipped the very first ISO X products that you are going to help us name. Also, come by the booth. There's a little banner in there. If the number's in there, you get a free Isolite system. So take a couple of minutes to do that for us and with us, and give us your names. On behalf of Isolite Systems and the Hershes, we are grateful to this organization. We look forward to working with you for the next 11 and several hundred years. Couple things. In addition to the entire Townie organization, thank you so much for the help and support that you've given us. There are a couple other people that we'd like to thank. 2 people especially, Tarun Argwal and Samir Puri. Right on. Good deal. Thank you guys very much. Also, Armin Mirzayan, Mark Fleming, and the indubitable Rich Fleming. Thank you very much. Oh, oops, sorry. Rich Rosenblatt. They're married or something. Is that true? No, I didn't say that. Rich Rosenblatt, Dr. Rich Rosenblatt. Sorry about that. Also, you know, we couldn't have done this without the help of other people. Special thanks to I don't know where she is. Where's Miss Carrie Cruz? She's the one who's been pounding us, and she's been really helpful for that. So, where is she? Thank you very much. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a great week. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.